Welcome to the Pro Ticker Deep Dive. We are jumping straight into a massive structural shift happening in biotechnology right now. The big question we're tackling for you today is simple, but it's crucial. The biotech winners of 2026 look absolutely nothing like the winners of 2020.
That's the core thesis we really need to unpack. I mean, 6 years ago, the winning bet was all about speed and scale for infectious disease. Think mRNA vaccines, rapid diagnostics. It was manufacturing capacity. Those companies, they solved an existential problem with just unprecedented velocity.
Right.
But as we're sitting here now, in 2026, that whole pandemic era formula is completely outdated.
Okay, so let's unpack this transformation because it feels like a total game changer. If your investment outlook is still sort of anchored to that pandemic narrative, you are missing the shift.
You're missing the whole story. The new landscape is, well, it's dominated by companies perfecting gene editing for rare diseases.
And building AI systems to design drugs.
Exactly. Designing them from the molecular level up, and of course delivering personalized cell therapies for cancer.
And this isn't just a slow pivot, is it? It's a real acceleration.
It's an acceleration that fundamentally changes where the capital flows. We are looking at a market transformation fueled by precision. I mean, the global biotech market. It's projected to hit, what, $5.71 trillion by 2034.
Wow.
Yeah, growing at a compound annual rate of about 11.8%. And that growth, it's overwhelmingly driven by these new advanced precision modalities. So our mission today is to give you the shortcut to understanding this new hyper-accelerated era.
Let's start with that contrast then. We went from pandemic urgency in 2020 to what you're calling precision maturity in 2026. What exactly changed?
Well, in 2020, success was purely operational. It was measured by how fast you could race through clinical trials and how quickly you could scale up manufacturing. Pfizer, Moderna, BioNTech. They became household names because the old regulatory playbook was just, set aside.
Because of the global crisis, the reward was for speed above all else.
Above all else. Fast forward to today, and that advantage is gone. Speed is no longer the primary reward.
So what is
Precision. The competitive advantage has shifted decisively towards specialized innovation, advanced therapeutics, genuine precision medicine. What matters now is clinical validation, a novel mechanism of action, and deep specialization. You have to prove not just that your drug works, but that it works exactly for a specific patient population.
And the most compelling sign of this has to be the maturity of gene and cell therapy. For decades, this was just theoretical, right?
Pure science fiction to most people, but now it's an FDA-approved reality. And that confidence from the regulators is the key difference. As of August 2025, 46 cellular and gene therapy products have been approved.
46.
And crucially, regulators are now projecting 10 to 20 approvals annually.
Annually, that's a huge number.
It's a massive signal. It tells you the approval pathway is no longer some one-off miracle.
Yeah.
It signals a repeatable, scalable, and frankly, a reliable process. That makes these companies bankable in a way they just weren't before.
That regulatory certainty is huge. It lets investors look forward 5 or 6 years instead of just waiting for the next phase 3 data.
Okay, let's move into the meat of this. The 4 macro forces that are reshaping the sector.
The first force, and this is a big one, is the elevation of AI. It has moved from being this, interesting research tool back in 2020.
Nice to have.
Exactly. To being essential R&D infrastructure by 2026. If you're starting a biotech now without a deep AI component, you're already behind.
And this is where big pharma is moving strategically. Look at Eli Lilly. They aren't just buying software. They're building massive proprietary AI supercomputers. We're talking trillions of molecular simulations a year.
And that's not just IT spending. That is a strategic technology reshuffling. It turns the entire R&D pipeline into a computational advantage. They're buying the future of drug discovery.
So what's fascinating here is what that implies for competition. It's a total paradigm shift. You used to need massive capital and decades of experience to compete with a company like Lilly. Now, smaller AI-native biotechs think companies like Recursion Pharmaceuticals or In Silico Medicine, they can compete.
Head-to-head.
Pretty much. They do it by using fundamentally better, more efficient computational tools to find drug candidates faster. It's technological superiority, not just capital, that's leveling the playing field.
That's a huge threat to the old guard. Okay, force number 2, the obesity drug revolution. GLP-1s like Ozempic, Wegovy. They didn't just create blockbuster revenue, they sort of reset the entire financial reward system.
Oh, they absolutely did.
Yeah.
The financial reward for a successful drug in a massive chronic condition like obesity is just so vast, it has reordered R&D priorities across the entire sector. Suddenly, chasing, niche oncology targets isn't the only way to get a multi-billion-dollar return
We're seeing multi-billion-dollar obesity pipelines being built from scratch.
from scratch. To put a number on it, Calera Therapeutics raised an astonishing $600 million Series B in late 2025
$600 million for a Series B.
for an AI-enabled obesity program. That's practically unheard of outside of oncology. And if that much capital is rushing into AI-enabled obesity R&D, you have to ask, what other area is losing that capital?
It's a great point. It validates both the AI approach and the market size. Okay, force number 3. Accelerated regulatory flexibility, especially for rare diseases.
Yes, and this is a crucial policy shift. It materially shortens the time to market. The FDA has introduced accelerated approval guidance specifically for gene therapy. And the key breakthrough is that the FDA now agrees to what they call surrogate endpoints.
Okay, so break that down. What's a surrogate endpoint?
It's a measurable biomarker that reliably predicts an eventual clinical benefit, and the FDA agrees to it before the trial even starts.
So instead of waiting, say, 10 years to prove a patient lives longer, the FDA says, if you can just prove this specific biological marker changes dramatically, that's good enough for an early launch.
That's it exactly. Think of it for a disease like sickle cell. Instead of waiting a decade, the FDA might agree that a huge, stable increase in fetal hemoglobin, which is a measurable marker, is enough proof for early approval. Companies like Rocket Pharmaceuticals can now design trials around those pre-blessed endpoints.
Which makes their path to market much clearer and faster and cheaper.
And it de-risks the trial significantly.
And force number 4, which sort of pulls all this together, is M&A, consolidation.
Right. Big pharma spending billions to buy innovation because they just can't build it fast enough. M&A volume hit a record high in 2025, nearly 70 disclosed deals of $20 million or more. This is big pharma facing those historic patent cliffs. Billions in revenue are about to disappear.
So they need to fill that hole?
They are forced buyers. They're targeting these smaller, innovative companies with clean IP and gene editing and AI to refill their pipelines.
Which explains the premiums. Okay, let's pivot to the specific modalities and valuations in this new era. The clearest validation for this whole investment thesis is what, sitting on the FDA's desk right now?
It is. We have to focus on Exocel. This is the CRISPR-based therapy from CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex for sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia.
And CRISPR, just as a quick reminder, molecular scissors, right?
Essentially, yes. It can precisely cut and repair defective DNA. Exocel is poised to be the first widely available gene editing therapy on the market.
And why is that approval so foundational?
Because it validates everything. If the FDA approves it and the launch is successful, it moves gene editing from an academic curiosity into a revenue-generating curative modality. That validation alone would just unlock massive investor confidence and capital for the entire sector.
Meanwhile, the old darling technology, mRNA, it's not fading, it's pivoting. Moderna and Biotech are now in late-stage trials for personalized cancer vaccines.
A critical pivot. It plays right to the strengths of mRNA technology, which is rapid customization. They take a patient's tumor sample, find its unique mutations, and then rapidly synthesize a custom mRNA strand.
That teaches the patient's own immune system to attack their specific cancer.
It is the ultimate in precision medicine.
And the data looks good.
It looks very good. That data nugget that really grabbed the market was Moderna's mRNA 4157. Combined with a common cancer drug, it showed a 44% reduction in the risk of melanoma recurrence. That's a dramatic improvement, a clear, high-value move into precision immunotherapy.
So what does all this mean for valuations, for how the market values these companies? We used to put a premium on, late-stage programs with guaranteed revenue, like those 2020 vaccine contracts.
That metric is obsolete. Now, early-stage gene and cell therapy assets that have regulatory clarity, meaning they have those pre-blessed surrogate endpoints, they're being valued like seasoned commercial programs.
Isn't that a risk? Aren't we just inflating phase 2 valuations based on, speculation about regulatory goodwill?
It's a risk, yes, but the market sees it as structural efficiency. A strong phase 2 result in a gene therapy context now carries the weight of what used to require a phase 3. The market is pricing in the compression of time and risk. The capital wants to get in early.
And the old winners, the large-cap vaccine names, Pfizer, Moderna.
They're trading like mature, slower growth businesses now. Profitable, sure, generating stable cash flow. But they're not generating that explosive growth the market is now demanding from biotech. The money is flowing away from mass market scale and toward precision, high-margin cures.
Let's get to the upside then, the bullish case for 2026. What are the key tailwinds to watch?
Number 1, Clinical validation is materializing. Fast. The pipeline is real, it's not hypothetical. Durable data for treatments like Casgevy would be a foundational event for the whole sector.
Proving the science delivers long term.
Right. And those readouts are happening now. Number two, AI productivity is becoming tangible. It's generating ROI. Eli Lilly's $2.5 billion AI commitment that's designed to cut the time from target ID to lead molecule by months, even years. Faster R&D means faster revenue.
And a stronger competitive moat. Okay, and number three.
Number three is the rare disease arbitrage. This is a systematic opportunity for companies like Rocket Pharmaceuticals, RegenXBio, Ultragenyx. They use the dual benefits of orphan drug designation and those surrogate endpoints to get to market quickly and maximize pricing power.
And on top of all that, we have the M&A forecast. Forced buying. If you have a validated pipeline in gene editing, you are a prime target for a premium acquisition.
And the regulatory uncertainty, which was always the biggest risk, has lifted significantly. The FDA is leaning into accelerated approval. It creates a much more predictable planning environment.
But we have to acknowledge the risks. No growth story is this clean. What's the bearish case? Where could this all go wrong?
Well, the primary risk is and remains manufacturing complexity
Yes.
and scale. Manufacturing these advanced therapies is still incredibly challenging. It's not easily industrialized. You take the Casgevy treatment, for example. It requires complex ex vivo cell handling.
And just to clarify, ex vivo means the patient's cells are taken out of their body, sent to a lab, modified, grown, checked, and then put back in.
Exactly. And that is a logistical nightmare to scale beyond a few thousand patients a year. Each treatment is a custom supply chain. Manufacturing bottlenecks, contamination risk, that could absolutely restrict the market size.
And then there's the sticker shock. These therapies can be priced up to $2 million for a one-time treatment. $2 million? I mean, who pays for that?
That's risk number two, reimbursement. Payers are pushing back. Hard. If you get coverage denials or even just long negotiation delays, the profit potential could just evaporate. A cure that costs $2 million but only gets reimbursed at $500K creates a massive financial problem.
And the final risk, efficacy. These approvals are based on surrogates. They still need confirmatory trials down the road.
Right, and if that clinical benefit wanes over time, say the cure isn't as durable as we thought, it creates a huge narrative and financial problem for the entire sector. The $2 million price tag falls apart pretty quickly.
Okay, let's look at the technicals, because the price action seems to be confirming this narrative. Despite all the volatility, biotech is trading at, what, a 15% discount to the broader market on a forward PE basis?
For a sector in this kind of structural high-growth transformation, that discount is, well, it's undeniably attractive. But you have to be selective. The technicals showed a massive divergence that confirms this whole shift in winners.
What's that divergence look like on a chart?
If you chart the big vaccine names, Pfizer, Moderna, they're just moving sideways, trapped in a range, trading like mature businesses. But the advanced therapy and AI names, CRISPR, Vertex, Recursion, they are establishing clear higher lows, pushing toward new highs. You can literally see the capital flowing out of yesterday's winners and into tomorrow's.
And the IPO market is looking healthier too, right? Signaling more risk appetite.
It is. We're seeing more small-cap biotech IPOs, companies like Actis Oncology. That signals that the venture ecosystem is confident there's market demand and capital available for novel tech, even pre-revenue. It's a strong bullish sign.
So to synthesize everything, the core distinction is clear. 2020 was about operational speed and scale. 2026 is all about molecular precision, deep AI integration, and rare disease mastery. The opportunity is real, valuations are reasonable, but you have to actively rotate out of those pandemic-era narratives.
Absolutely. And to leave you with a final provocative thought, if big pharma companies like Eli Lilly can consistently use AI to compress R&D timelines, to turn a 7-year preclinical process into a 3-year one, how soon will our current definition of a phase 2 asset become completely obsolete? And what does that do to today's early-stage valuations? If assets are commercially viable years sooner than we currently model, that changes everything about how we calculate risk.
That is a great question to chew on as the future of drug discovery just accelerates exponentially.
Indeed.
See you all in the next Pro Ticker Deep Dive.